Hi guys, I want to show you how to use my silk overlays. And this is Ashley, she let me use her picture. Drop Dead Gorgeous, thank you. And this is the ready composite. And this is the picture of Ashley, and these are the drapes or silk fabrics, whatever you want to call it. So I can bring that into her picture, or I can bring her picture into her. But it's easier in this case to bring her into the picture of the drapes. So I'm going to grab my move tool. I'm going to show the other way in different tutorial, okay? I'm going to grab my move tool. Sorry. I clicked and hold it too long, so I'm grabbing her and move it to the silk, and I'm going to release her here, not into the title, because she's not going to go through if I release her into the title. There are many different ways. So I'm going to reduce the opacity so I see where I'm going to put her. And I'm going to go edit, free transform, and I'm going to make her bigger. If I bring the silk into her picture, I should have add canvas to her. It's just a little bit more difficult in this case, and I'm going to click OK. Now she's transparent, it doesn't matter. I would like that silk to go the other way, so I'm just going to duplicate that image by bringing it down to the tools, grabbing it, duplicating it, and I'm going to go edit, free transform, and I'm going to flip it horizontal. So I have it horizontal now. And let me go and show you here. I have it horizontal. Now I'm going to grab one more layer, because one is going to be over her and one is going to be below her. And I like that silk to go lower, so I'm going to go to fix that. You know what, let me just select her first. So I'm going to go to my quick selection tool. You can use different tools. I'm going to go to quick selection, and I'm going to go select subject. If your picture is more complicated, you can do it different way. Then I'm going to add a layer mask. Now she's selected. Now the name of her layer is layer 1. Okay, so we have to remember that, because now I'm going to go and liquefy that piece of fabric I want it to go below. So I'm going to activate this layer, and I'm going to go to filter and liquefy. And I'm going to go and grab my wrap tool. What is it called? Forward warp tool. And I'm going to make my brush really big. But I want to see, by clicking on the right bracket key, but I want to see the background. But when I see all the backgrounds, they are going to mix when I start moving. I can see it right now, but I just don't have too many layers. But you want to see only her, you don't want the other one. So what was her layer? Layer 1. So it's going to be only her layer, and I'm going to make that tool bigger by clicking on the right bracket key, and I'm going to move that silk where I like it to be. And not just the silk, this thing is going into not just there, this silk is going into her head like that, and that's what I don't like. So I'm going to kind of push it up like this. I'm going to move that silk somewhere there, and let me see, and I like it. Now if I grab that layer which I just liquefied. I'm just going to duplicate it. Oops. Duplicate the layer, and I'm going to put it above her. Now I'm going to select that layer. I usually use my pen tool in this case, but I'm just going to use my quick selection because it's kind of faster for tutorial. And I'm dragging here around that, and when I have that edge selected, I'm just going to make my tool bigger. This is quick selection, so it can select this. And I'm going to, when I have that layer active, I'm going to just put a layer mask. And when I put a layer mask, I'm going to see that raggedy edges here, which I have to fix. And I'm going to grab my brush tool and making sure I'm in black X to switch the color, so you can click here and make it a little bit bigger by clicking on the bracket key. And I'm going to click here, making sure I'm 100% opacity. I'm going to click here, hold my shift, because when I hold my shift, the both clicks are going to be connected with a straight line. So I'm not going to do raggedy edges. Click here, holding shift, and it's a little bit soft, but it doesn't really matter. So I don't need to fix it anywhere else. Let me zoom it out. Now I'm going to reduce the opacity of this layer, and you can see it gets transparent. Don't reduce it too much. Now I may want to change something. I can make it lower or something like that. I'll leave it like this for now. So now I'm going to fix the colors. She has a little bit too much red into her skin, and that red went into this, and it looks a little red magentas, and my background looks a little bit more yellowish. So I'm going to clip an adjustment layer to her and remove some of these magentas and red. We're going to see what it is, okay? So if your color matches, you can leave it just as it is. We're done, okay? So I'm going to do an adjustment layer, which is hue saturation. Here it is. I'm going to clip it to her by, you can use a shortcut, it's Command Option G, or Control Alt G for, I'm with Mac, so my shortcuts are for Mac. Command Option G is to clip that thing. If not, right click here and create clipping mask. Now I can adjust her. So I'm going to click here, and sample the color. It may be magenta, it may be red. I don't know, not really sure. So when I click, it says red, okay? Click on a few places to see red, red, red. So most of it is the red, and I'm going to saturate it to the very end to see what I'm working on, and it is red. So let's go back to 0. Oops, sorry. Now, can you do 0? Okay, doesn't understand my English. So I can shift these reds to the yellow. That's a little too much, but just to show you, I'm going to just shift them a little bit. And she became a little bit yellow, but you know, her dress matches better. So I'm just going to grab my, activate the mask, grab my brush tool, B for the brush, making sure I'm with black, 100% opacity, and I'm going to remove that yellow from her skin. And this is all. You know, she has a little bit more yellow, more reds in her skin. So with low opacity brush, like 10%, you can bring the reds into her skin, yellows into her skin a little bit. So if I go X to switch the color, or click here and go 10% opacity, let's go 18. 18 is too much, so let's go 7. Doesn't matter. So I can bring these yellows into her skin a little bit, not 100%, especially here around. And that's pretty much all. Quite easy. Thank you very much. I'll do another tutorial.